The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, February 19, reveal that Summer Newman will make a difficult choice while Michael Baldwin confesses and Jack Abbott blasts Victor Newman. For starters, let's talk about the growing tension between Victor and Jack. This feud is about to erupt all over again since Victor refuses to give Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman his blessing. It sounds like Jack will hear about Victor rejecting Kyle's attempt to find common ground. Jack may blast Victor over the dinner drama and accuse him of standing in the way of his own granddaughter's happiness. Nikki Newman will eventually intervene as Jack and Victor's latest round of fighting heats up. There won't be much Nikki can do, but she'll push for peace anyway, and will at least try to get Victor and Jack to cool off. However, Victor will refuse to back down when it comes to all his Abbott loathing. It's clear that Victor's mission to destroy Jabot will move forward, no matter how much Nikki's going to hate his plans. Meanwhile, Michael will give Lauren Fenmore Baldwin updates on some top-secret news in Wednesday's I and R episode. As Lauren and Michael dance in the jazz lounge, he may come clean about the spies Victor's using to infiltrate Jack's company. Michael will let Lauren know that big trouble's brewing and will no doubt worry about the damage that'll be done. Although Michael won't like what Victor's up to, he may hope that he can eventually convince Victor to back off. Unfortunately, Victor isn't known for surrendering, so Michael may just have to brace for the aftermath of his boss' destruction. Over with Summer, she'll make a difficult choice that involves Kyle. Will Summer decide to come up with a sabotage plot and ruin Kyle's doomed relationship with Claire Newman? Summer might tell herself Claire and Kyle's romance is only going to end in disaster anyway. Perhaps Summer will think it's time to do Kyle a favor and just blow things up before he falls any harder. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer will ultimately pursue her own reunion with Kyle in the coming episodes, so we'll bring you more predictions on how her plan will evolve. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Today's Young and the Restless recap airs in the USA on Tuesday, February 18, 2025, and airs one day ahead in Canada. We post our Y and R recaps every weekday. Neil Winter's Jazz Lounge. Diane and Jack enjoy their time together while shutting out all the world's problems. Jack tries to figure out how not to be nervous about the Abbott Mansion refresh. Diane tries to change his thought pattern. Diane's been researching some classic Jabot products and insists they could be sitting on a gold mine. Jack is distracted by his thoughts and wants a hint at her ideas for the house. Diane wants him to trust her on this. Subscribe to Y and R recaps. Get the latest Y and R recaps and spoilers straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. Jack likes the retro ideas for the Jabot Classics line. Diane is happy her husband is invested in her ideas. Jack insists she will have his support and approval. They toast to Victor's failed attempt at destroying the Abbott family. Society. Kyle and Summer are excited to hear how well Harrison's project went at school. Harrison made sure everyone knew it was a family project. Kyle is waiting on Claire and Victor. Both are surprised Victor agreed to follow through with the dinner. Kyle informs her that Nikki will be tagging along. Summer senses this is a big deal for Kyle and Claire. Kyle suggests that Nikki is a buffer. Summer advises that Victor always makes his opinions known, but they shouldn't dictate his relationship with Claire. She hates he's having to jump through all these hoops for Victor's approval. She finds it odd that Victor never objected when they were together. Kyle is doing the dinner for Claire's sake. Summer wishes him good luck. Kyle insists that Victor can't change anything between him and Claire. Kyle excuses Summer so she can enjoy her evening with Daniel. Daniel apologizes for being late. Summer stares at Kyle and sips her martini. Daniel wants to know if everything is okay. Newman Ranch. Michael meets with Victor. Victor blames Michael and Cole for Jordan being able to re-enter his family's life. He says they should have allowed him to keep her caged. Michael insists he was only watching Victor's back. Victor appreciates how Michael stayed with the family during the battle with Ian. He's ready to initiate his plan to go after Jack via Jabot. Michael informs Victor that the 3 spies from Glissade are ready and awaiting orders. Victor is happy to hear it and says it's time to make their next move. Michael hoped it wouldn't come to this. Victor doesn't want to hear his objections. Michael suggests that Kyle, Diane, and Jack have suffered enough. Victor says they have not suffered enough. He'll be the one to decide when they have suffered enough. Victor reminds Michael that Jack almost killed Nikki in the hotel room. Michael relents to Victor's will. Victor needs to find out what Jabot's future plans are. Once he knows the details, he will devise his strategy. Claire enters and Michael leaves. Claire looks concerned when Victor tells her he and Michael were discussing business. Society. Summer tells her brother that everything is fine. Daniel knows better and recognizes that look on her face. Summer can't believe Kyle and Claire think that they can convince Victor to accept their relationship. Daniel doesn't know why Summer finds this surprising. Summer believes they are wasting their time. Daniel isn't buying that the relationship isn't bothering Summer. Neil Winter's Jazz Lounge. Diane is having difficulty letting go of what Victor tried to do to them. She doesn't believe his war with Jack is really over. Jack refuses to let Victor rattle him. Diane worries about Kyle and Claire's relationship. Jack shares her concern, but says he is letting that go. He wants to think the couple can handle whatever Victor throws at them. No amount of worrying on his part will change anything. Diane wishes she could adopt the same attitude. They agree to grab a suite upstairs and fool around. Society. Summer hopes Daniel isn't suggesting that she is jealous. Daniel notices she is worked up over a simple dinner. Summer knows a lot has happened since she was with Kyle, and Victor will not let the past rest. She doesn't understand why Victor sees Claire as a delicate flower he must protect. Daniel points out that Summer is the opposite of Claire. Summer agrees she is strong and fierce. She insists that Kyle is headed for trouble if he stays with Claire. Daniel points out how Summer is radiating the vibes of their mother. Summer can't believe he's comparing her to Phyllis. She sarcastically thanks him for the warning. Daniel wonders if Summer has heard from Phyllis. He keeps calling and texting, but gets no response. Summer finds that to be odd. She's surprised to hear that Daniel accepted the job offer from Billy. Daniel informs her that Phyllis and Billy made a good pitch and he's excited about it. He believes this is the change he and Lucy need in their lives. Summer suggests that Heather is working her magic from heaven. Summer wonders if Daniel and Phyllis will be able to work together peacefully. Daniel believes they can. Claire enters with Victor and she and Summer exchange a meaningful gaze. The Young and the Restless scoop for Tuesday, February 18, reveals Daniel Romalotti will accuse Summer Newman of being jealous. My and our spoilers tease Diane and Jack will discuss the Abbott estate refresh. Then Diane will wonder if her husband's war with the mustache is truly over. But Jack will say he doesn't want to worry about it. Instead, they'll dance. Then they'll head upstairs to their room for some love in the afternoon. My and our daily scoop. He'll never forget what Jack did to his wife. Not surprisingly, while the couple is discussing Victor, he'll be plotting against them. Michael will arrive at the ranch, and he'll be given a new assignment. Are the Glissade people you hired in position at Jabot? Victor will ask. Michael will say yes, but he was hoping it wouldn't come to this. Are you sure this is something you really want to go through with? After all, he put Jack, Diane, and Kyle through a lot of suffering. They haven't suffered enough, Victor will reply. I'll decide when the Abbotts have suffered enough. You got it. But Michael will continue to try to talk him out of it. "Have you honestly forgotten what Jack Abbott did to Nikki?" Victor will ask. "He nearly killed her in that debauchery in that hotel room." So he wants to know what Jebot has in the works. Then he'll devise his strategy. Meanwhile, Summer will see Kyle walk into society and she'll invite him to sit with her. She'll say she heard from Harrison Locke's Redding Munsell teacher who was impressed by the diorama. Kyle will tell her he's having dinner with Claire's grandparents and she won't look happy about it. Kyle will greet Daniel when he shows up and then head to the bar. Daniel will ask Summer if everything's okay, but Summer will be busy staring at Kyle. "Hello," Daniel will say. Summer will say Kyle and Claire are wasting their time. There's no way Victor will accept them together. They barely know each other. I don't know why he's going to all this trouble about her. Daniel will tell his sister she's radiating Phyllis vibes. So he'll ask if she's jealous and she'll deny it. "You seem really worked up over a simple dinner," he'll say. Summer will tell him she just feels like Kyle is asking for trouble if he continues on this path with Claire. Young and the Restless scoop, Victor will never accept them together. Then Claire will arrive with Victor and Summer will glare at her. Victor will say hello and Summer will watch as her grandfather sits with Claire and Kyle. "I'm noticing how miserable Kyle looks. Look at him, can't you see it?" she'll say. Daniel will ask why she cares so much if she's not jealous. Summer will say it's a parental thing. It will cause stress and tension, which she thinks will trickle down to Harrison. Daniel will say he thinks it's highly unlikely that Kyle will break up with Claire because she or Victor asked him to. Over at Victor, Claire, and Kyle's table, Victor will say he understands he's fond of Claire. "You and I know there will be another implosion in the Abbott family, and I do not want my other granddaughter to suffer," he'll add. "The reason I'm objecting to your relationship with my granddaughter is because of your family." Finally, Claire will tell her grandfather he's being unfair, and Kyle will say he can see how Victor might feel that way. But even after all that's happened between their families, he would never hold his anger at Victor against Claire. "I feel very deeply about her, and that's why we're going to purse a relationship with or without your blessing." However, Kyle will say he'd like his blessing, and he'll ask if there's anything he can say or do to accomplish that goal. "There's nothing you can say to accomplish that goal," Victor will reply. One thing young and restless viewers probably didn't expect was for the show to troll viewers on Valentine's Day. And yet, according to many, that's exactly what happened. "That's an hour of my life I'll never get back," was a sentiment echoed across various social media platforms in the wake of the episode, which aired on Friday, February 14, and featured several wildly popular couples reuniting, only to reveal that the romantic scenes were a big ol' fake out. More, what happened in Dream episode? "That was just cruel," opined Facebooker Meryl Danks. "I've loved Sally and Adam since first they crossed paths. Even though I knew this was a dream sequence, it was pretty obvious from the start. I love seeing them reunite." Similarly, fans who've been longing for super couple Sharon and Nick to reunite felt tricked by the episode. One Redditor suggested that perhaps Sharon had slipped everyone PCP, thus explaining their odd dreams. Joel Serio spoke for many when he admitted on Facebook that he wanted to see Sharon and Adam's dreams come true. Could that have been the show's endgame? Were they perhaps teasing who is ultimately meant to wind up with whom? If there were two things nearly everyone agreed on, it was that Phyllis' dream felt as if it came completely out of left field. Even she was taken aback upon waking, and that portrayer Michelle Stafford looked stunning in her alter ego's dress. The overwhelming desire expressed on social media was for Young and Restless to stop doing special episodes. As Redditor Gracetweet mused, "Why do they keep doing dream shows and hallucinations? Why not write real storylines?" Fortunately, it appears the show will leave the world of fantasy behind, as this week, Victor becomes more determined than ever to destroy Jack once and for all, while Summer's brother thinks she might still have a thing for Kyle. Should Claire be keeping a close eye on her boyfriend to make sure he's not drawn back to his ex? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, February 18. See Victor telling Michael about his revenge plot, while Daniel questions Summer and Jack and Diane make moves. It's going to be a drama-filled day, and you won't want to miss a moment. Next on Young and the Restless. Victor survived Ian shooting him while he believes he shot and killed Ian. Now that that's all over, Victor is ready to continue doing what he does best, be Vict. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, February 18. See Victor telling Michael about his revenge plot, while Daniel questions Summer and Jack and Diane make moves. It's going to be a drama-filled day, and you won't want to miss a moment. Next on Young and the Restless. Victor survived Ian shooting him while he believes he shot and killed Ian. Now that that's all over, Victor is ready to continue doing what he does best, be Victor Newman. Now, Victor reveals his latest revenge plot to Michael. He fully intends to set his sights back on his feud with Jack and the Abbotts. How will Victor do that? Well, through Jebot, of course. This is sure to make things uneasy between Nikki and Jack, as well as Claire and Kyle. 20 questions. Daniel is Summer's brother. Well, one of them. The other is MIA, but that's another story. Anyway, Summer talks about Kyle and Claire with Daniel, and he can't help but give Summer the third degree. Daniel wants to know if his sister is somehow jealous of Kyle's relationship with Claire, and he has good reason to be. After all, Summer has frequently been jealous of Kyle's relationships with other women when they weren't together. Of course, Summer will deny this, but that doesn't mean Daniel is wrong. Making moves. Diane wants to redecorate the Abbott mansion. Not surprisingly, Jack wasn't so sure about making significant changes to the family home. Diane enlisted Tracy's help, but even she felt it would take a lot to get Jack to make the change. Now, Jack and Diane make a big move. Does it mean he's given the go-ahead for Diane to spruce up the place? Or will Jack do one better? Perhaps the move is giving Diane her own home that she can decorate any way she wants to. Nah, it's probably redecorating the Abbott mansion, right? Now, Victor reveals his latest revenge plot to Michael. He fully intends to set his sights back on his feud with Jack and the Abbotts. How will Victor do that? Well, through Jebot, of course. This is sure to make things uneasy between Nikki and Jack, as well as Claire and Kyle. 20 questions. Daniel is Summer's brother. Well, one of them. The other is MIA, but that's another story. Anyway, Summer talks about Kyle and Claire with Daniel, and he can't help but give Summer the third degree. Daniel wants to know if his sister is somehow jealous of Kyle's relationship with Claire, and he has good reason to be. After all, Summer has frequently been jealous of Kyle's relationships with other women when they weren't together. Of course, Summer will deny this, but that doesn't mean Daniel is wrong. Making moves. Diane wants to redecorate the Abbott mansion. Not surprisingly, Jack wasn't so sure about making significant changes to the family home. Diane enlisted Tracy's help, but even she felt it would take a lot to get Jack to make the change. Now, Jack and Diane make a big move. Does it mean he's given the go-ahead for Diane to spruce up the place? Or will Jack do one better? Perhaps the move is giving Diane her own home that she can decorate any way she wants to. Nah, it's probably redecorating the Abbott mansion, right? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, February 18 suggest some interesting plot twists as February sweeps roll on in Genoa City. Someone unveils a revenge plan, while a super couple is on the move, and a character grills their sibling. What's set to unravel during Tuesday's show? Time to find out. Victor Newman reveals his revenge plan. During the Tuesday, February 18 episode, Victor Newman will reveal his latest revenge scheme to Michael Baldwin. During the Y&R Weekly preview, a scene was shown between the mustache and his lawyer, as Victor tells Michael he is ready to unleash the next phase of his plan against Jack Abbott. Sounds like Victor has eyes on Jabot. However, what exactly does he have in mind? Will he buy the company out, or will he ruin John Abbott's legacy for good? Jack's big move. Speaking of Jack, he and his wife, Diane Abbott, will make a big move on Tuesday. But what could this be about? Sounds like this has to do with the Abbott Mansion's renovation. Will Jack approve of Diane's choices? Could this be something that drives a wedge between the two? After all, the Abbott Mansion isn't only Jack's home, but where he grew up. It's filled with family memories and nostalgia. Here's hoping this reno isn't the thing that ends the super couple for good. Daniel Romalotti grills. Across town, it sounds like Daniel Romalotti will grill his sister, Summer Newman. The conversation will turn toward Kyle Abbott's new relationship with Claire Newman, and Daniel will sense some jealousy there and call Summer out on it. Of course, Summer will fluff it off, but fans know that she's more than a little envious of Kyle's affections for Claire, not to mention how much Harrison Abbott adores her newfound cousin. How will Summer feel when Daniel brings this up? Are you excited about Tuesday's episode? Join the conversation below. Check out the Y&R on CBS Daily for your fill of Geno City drama, and visit SOS often for all the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease that Sally Spectra might insist that Phyllis Summers be let go or else face serious consequences. Is a tough ultimatum on the horizon for Billy Abbott? Phyllis has already meddled in silly romance. Fans of Y&R are well aware that Phyllis has been stirring the pot in Billy and Sally's relationship. During their romantic escape in Paris, Sally clearly wasn't thrilled with the barrage of phone calls and messages from Phyllis. Yet, at this moment, Sally doesn't seem overly concerned. While Phyllis' antics are certainly irksome, Sally appears to regard her more as a nuisance than a genuine threat. However, this dynamic could shift in upcoming episodes, especially after Phyllis had a vivid dream about rekindling her romance with Billy. Awakening with confusion about her feelings, she might soon confront the reality that she still harbors desires for him deep down. Phyllis will go out of her way to connect with Billy. No matter what unfolds, Phyllis is determined to rekindle her connection with Billy during the week of February 17 to 21. Sally will catch glimpses of the chemistry between the former couple, and her disapproval will be palpable, and Sally might realize Phyllis poses a greater threat than she initially believed. If this trend continues, Sally's resentment towards Phyllis could intensify, leaving her feeling increasingly vulnerable. Additionally, we must remember that Sally is still grappling with the emotional scars left by Adam Newman when he betrayed her with Chelsea Lawson. Despite Adam's attempts to reassure Sally that his past with Chelsea was behind him, he now seems intent on rekindling that relationship and envisioning a future with her. Sally's ultimatum to Billy. Sally has good reason to be concerned about the growing connection between Billy and Phyllis, especially since they are exes, and will now be working together at Abbott Communications. Phyllis will likely try to get closer to Billy, believing that Sally isn't right for him and wanting him for herself. As the tension between Phyllis and Sally increases, Sally might eventually give Billy a serious ultimatum. She could find it hard to deal with Phyllis trying to sabotage their relationship, and it's possible that Sally will demand Billy fire Phyllis or risk losing her. If Billy doesn't agree to her demands, Sally might threaten to end the relationship completely. Upcoming spoilers indicate that Billy may have a difficult choice to make if Phyllis pushes Sally too far. Claire and Kyle's relationship just started on The Young and the Restless, but there are way too many obstacles in their way. The hot new couple of Geno City never had a chance for the following reasons. 1. Claire's ties to Jordan. This is a no-brainer. Claire was groomed by her great-aunt Claire. She will always have that in her bloodline, no matter how much treatment she undergoes. That kind of trauma sticks with you. Also, Claire clearly inherited her aunt's murderous ways. She was willing to kill her off. This reminds us that she's still keeping a big secret about her aunt's death. Once the truth comes out, this could change their relationship forever. 2. Victor Newman. Need we say more? There's no way that Claire can go up against Victor, even if she tried. She wants to defeat him, but she could easily fail. She's not the ruthless Newman she might think she is. Claire has much to learn, and Victor's a hard case to crack. He refuses to back down. Her father, Cole, took a while to win him over. It was a Christmas miracle. Also, it seemed like Victor thought Cole would die at the hands of Jordan. So he probably thought in his mind, let me give him this olive branch. 3. Kyle's past with Summer. Kyle and Summer are inseparable. You can't pry them apart, even if you tried. This situation is even more difficult because they share a son, Harrison. Once Summer got parental rights, all bets were off. At first, Harrison was smitten with Claire, but he considers Summer as his mother. Claire's only the nanny, and Harrison really wants his parents to get back together. He thinks they're happier when they're around each other. Little does he know they don't get along these days. He Young in the Restless recap for Tuesday, February 18, reveals that Victor Newman's 3 spies will be ready after invading Abbott. Kyle Abbott will also flop at Claire Newman's dinner, so let's talk about what's ahead on Tuesday's I&R episode. At the Jazz Lounge, Jack Abbott will be distracted as Diane Jenkins Abbott tries to talk business. Although Jack will have lingering concerns about the Abbott mansion refresh, Diane will ultimately get his mind off his worries upstairs in bed. At Society, Kyle will bump into Summer Newman and offer updates on Claire rescheduling their dinner with 4 tonight. Summer will find out Nikki Newman is coming and will suggest it seems like a big deal. Summer won't think Victor's going to change his mind about offering his approval, so she'll voice some fears to Daniel Romalotti Jr. soon after. Although Summer will feel like Kyle's just going to end up miserable, Daniel will wonder if she's jealous and will admit she's giving him Phyllis Summers vibes right now. Summer will deny any jealousy and argue that she's mostly concerned for Harrison Abbott, who's an intuitive kid, and will pick up on any tension that happens. Daniel won't think Kyle's going to break up with Claire just because Summer or Victor say so. Summer will understand that and fret over how complicated things are going to get. At the Newman Ranch, Victor will receive confirmation from Michael Baldwin that they've got 3 spies embedded at Abbott. Michael will note that these spies are awaiting orders and will admit Glissade was the perfect Trojan horse to get them in. Although Michael will have reservations about the next phase of Victor's plan, Victor will maintain that Jack is going down via Abbott. In the end, Michael will agree to find out Abbott's upcoming product plans and report back with the latest news. Afterward, Claire will get reassurance that Victor is still coming to the dinner they talked about, but she'll hope he won't grill Kyle too hard. At Society later, Summer will glare as Kyle joins Claire and Victor at their table. Kyle will try to make small talk about the menu specials while they wait for Nikki's arrival. However, Victor will want to cut the chit-chat and get to the point. After Victor makes it clear that Kyle's family is the problem here, Claire will pipe up and insist her grandpa's being unfair. Although Victor will make a prediction about another Abbott clan implosion, Kyle will insist they're stronger than ever. After Kyle admits he's going to continue his relationship with Claire regardless, he'll acknowledge that he genuinely likes Victor's blessing. Once Kyle asks if there's something he can say or do to accomplish that goal, Victor will give him a hard no on that. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will stand his ground when it comes to disapproving of Kyle and Claire's romance, so stay tuned for more obstacles. Winters was determined to cut ties with Victor Newman and never speak to him again. However, when Nikki Newman approached Lily and wanted to make amends, it was very surprising when Lily agreed. Lily did have a condition to this truce, and that was for Victor to find out everything he could on Damian Lewis. Damian Lewis is new in Genoa City. Damian is new in Genoa City, so it is curious that Lily is interested in anything Victor can find out about him. All Damian really did was bump into Lily one time. It's not like Damian is there to take over the family company or anything. Why is Lily so interested in finding out all the dirt that Victor can dig up on Damian? Nate Hastings works with Lily and Devon Hamilton at their family company. Nate tried to take over the company before, so Lily may not fully trust him. Of course, Lily may also wonder if Damian is a threat now that he has met the family. If Damian is Nate's half-brother, he is also technically family. Damian Lewis is not a blood relative. Damian isn't a blood relative to Lily, so there could be a possible relationship there if Damian were to stick around. However, Lily seems rather cold to Damian even when he apologized. Could Damian be an underhanded businessman and Lily just senses that he could turn on them and try to do something with the company, or is she attracted to Damian? Lily is not exactly lucky in love, so one could certainly understand her checking out someone if she were interested in them. Just look at her last relationship. Perhaps Lily has just decided to be more cautious before she gives someone else a chance. Damian has been seen taking a second look and giving Lily a secret smile behind her back. Damian Lewis' right-hand man is connected to Tucker McCall. Audra Charles knows Holden Novak, and he is connected to Tucker McCall. Tucker is Devon Hamilton's father. Devon doesn't associate with Tucker, but that doesn't mean that Tucker wouldn't come after his company again. Tucker was behind the first takeover attempt. Could Lily know that Damian and Tucker may know each other, or has she overheard something? Does Damian really want to do what he said and leave town never to return? Lily could know more about Damian than her family and just want to make sure to protect them all. However, Lily may just be trying to keep Nate from getting hurt as well. Come here for all things I and R. Stop by Often for the Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sally Spectra could use a tempting new man. So here's who Billy Abbott's competition should be. We can certainly think of one single guy on canvas for Sally to fall for, and the result would no doubt lead to mixed feelings for Phyllis Summers. I and our fans know Phyllis recently had a romantic dream about Billy, so she was startled over it when she woke up. The more Phyllis thinks about that dream and what her heart truly desires, the more she'll realize she wants Billy back. Of course, that's an issue since Billy is already dating Sally, but a little competition never stopped Phyllis before. Phyllis may think she can steal Billy away, so she's going to rock the boat in Sally's romance. That might pave the way for Sally to rely on someone else for support. Could Daniel Romalotti Jr. become a confidant and somebody for Sally to lean on? Daniel defended Sally when Phyllis trashed her recently. Now that Daniel has decided to accept Billy's offer to work at Abbott Communications, the show's definitely putting him in the middle of all the Phyllis, Billy, and Sally drama. That brings us to some preview info for 2025 that still hasn't played out. According to what Y&R head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith told TV Insider, Daniel is headed down an interesting road. Griffith confirmed that Daniel would set himself off on a new path with a potentially, I don't want to say romance, but a bit of a walk on the emotional wild side. If we read between the lines here, it sounds like Daniel might connect with a woman on canvas and perhaps hover on the edge of something more than friendship. Some strong emotions could come out, but things may be complicated since Daniel is still grieving Heather Stevens. That I don't want to say romance part suggests it won't go all the way, at least not yet, but it could come close to something romantic. Sally seems like the perfect person for Daniel to bond with under the circumstances. Phyllis would probably love for Sally to drift toward literally any other man on canvas except her son. If Phyllis starts pulling Billy closer and it sends Sally in Daniel's direction, it could leave Phyllis quite torn. Phyllis wants a Billy reunion, but she might worry the cost will be driving Sally into Daniel's comforting arms. Naturally, there's the potential for Daniel and Sally to become a romantic item at some point, whether Phyllis likes it or not. It's tough to make firm predictions about what the future holds until Daniel comes out of his mourning period, but Sally and Daniel could be tempted by each other eventually. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some twists and turns are ahead for Sally, so stay tuned for updates on any exciting news in her love life. So where you want to be for Fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your one-stop source. A hidden connection, a secret past, and a cryptic conversation about a big bad missing in action almost certainly spells disaster for one young and restless couple, and foreshadows the return of a notorious schemer. As soon as we learned Holden shared a connection with a certain lady in Genoa City, we guessed it would be Audra. Here's why. That was proven true this week when they ran into each other on Crimson Light's patio. We weren't sure if they would turn out to be siblings or ex-lovers, but that was cleared up during their conversation. He teased, "I thought we were friends," and Audra established that they knew each other for a very short time in Los Angeles. What we also know for certain is that this is a big deal. Why? It means Audra, who has softened during her time with Nate, the couple has even become a fan favorite, is still being shifty. Worse, she's betrayed Nate with her lie of omission. It's going to come out, and it's not going to go over well with Mr. Hastings. What's so bad about her keeping her connection to Holden quiet? For starters, she knew the whole time that Holden wasn't Nate's brother or Amy's son, and didn't say a word to alert either of them to him being an imposter. She continued to let them believe they were interacting with Damien, knowing full well the man was actually Holden from her past. She lied to her boyfriend and to the woman she's grown so close to without blinking an eye. It's shifty as heck, which means she has something to cover up. In fact, we're positive Audra has something to hide. After all, Holden told her, "You can relax. All secrets are safe." He then added, "For now," so there are further implications for her relationship with Nate, as she has something hanging over her head that she doesn't want to come to light. Presumably, because her partner wouldn't approve. That brings us to the next part of the equation. Holden told Audra that she owes him. When Holden and Audra spoke on the patio at the coffee house, he referred to having helped her out of a little jam with her boss at the time. He followed that up with the pointed question, "How is Tucker, by the way?" This was the first mention of Devon's scheming dad since he went MIA after losing Glissade to Victor and Audra, and nothing happens without a reason on Soaps. Find out why we think Tucker's returning here. Bottom line, Audra not only lied to Nate, but she's continuing to keep secrets on an ongoing basis, including her connection to Holden, and whatever it is he did to help her deal with McCall. Moreover, if someone on Young and Restless mentions you owing them, you could be sure they intend to collect on that debt. With Holden and Damien discussing the big problems they need to deal with in Los Angeles, and Nate and Amy being suspicious as to how Damien made so much money so quickly, it smells like something sinister is going on, and Audra is going to end up right in the middle of it. Just as Devon and Lily were being convinced to lighten up on Audra, she's about to prove all their suspicions about her were correct. Or at least it's going to look that way. Can Nate and Audra's relationship survive this? Will Tucker be back? We'll have to tune in to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks are here. From February 17 to 28, 2025, fans can expect Summer Newman to fight for her man. Jack Abbott gets attacked. Plus, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin makes a shocking discovery. Summer Newman fights. In the upcoming week, expect Summer to get called out by Daniel Romalotti Jr. When Daniel claims that Summer is jealous of Claire Grace Newman's relationship with Kyle Abbott, she denies it. However, later, Summer has a revelation, so it sounds like Summer might fight for Kyle. Summer does sit down at a table with Kyle Claire later in the week. After that, Kyle gives Claire a test. So that sounds like Summer put the idea in Kyle's head. Investigating Damian Kane. Over with Lily Winters, she's worried about Damian, but also about Nate Hastings' fixation on making Amy Lewis' wishes come true. It seems to be becoming an obsession. Lily was also right that Nate truly doesn't know who he is dealing with. So, Lily turns to Victor Newman to get answers. Meanwhile, Damian has a surprise for Nate and Amy. This might be the news that he's sticking around in Genoa City longer than expected. That would have Holden Novak, putting more pressure on Audra Charles to have one last night together. It's clear there used to be passion between the two, but there is something else. Something that makes Audra scared of Nate finding out. What the heck did Holden help Audra with back in the day? Later, Nate promises to protect Amy. Meanwhile, Victor agrees to use his resources to help Lily. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin's discovery. Over with Michael Baldwin tells a secret to Lauren. Michael might open up to Lauren about Victor's latest war. Plus, Sally Spectra will worry about Billy Abbott's bond with Phyllis Summers. February 24 to 28, 2025. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks reveal that Phyllis could cause problems between Billy and Sally. Diane Jenkins Abbott will likely unveil her redecorating. Meanwhile, Jack could be too distracted to notice Victor's next hit coming. Kyle and Claire could definitely get caught in the crossfire, each having an allegiance to their own family. That could make having a romantic relationship a bit strained, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below.